down many defensemen due to injuries. The most recent Connor to be picked first overall did not get the result he wanted in the matchup of Connor versus Connor, Chicago versus Edmonton. This team played very, very bad this game. We're going to be talking about the defensemen and the whole defense as a whole, as well as what is probably the worst performance we've seen from one specific group of players in this video. So make sure to stick around, find out. But before we get into it, we notice that 83% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. So if you're looking for a spot to get all your Blackhawks news, you're in the right spot. Stay a while, sub to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the news. We're going to start this one off here with the major defense issue, which I'm sure many of you know what is happening right now on this defense, which is the injuries. That is by far the major issue on this team. Two of the top defensemen in Seth Jones and Kevin Korchinski are both out. No timetable for either one of these yet. We know they did not travel to Edmonton, but that's the extent of what we know so far. We're going to start this one off here with from the 10 observations from Charlie Roumeliotis. Starting off with, Seth Jones did not make the trip to Edmonton and is being evaluated back in Chicago for an upper body injury, which he suffered late in Sunday's game versus Washington, which was a shoulder, for those wondering, collarbone-looking type injury. A massive loss for the Blackhawks, who are also still without Kevin Korchinski for a family matter, and Jared Tinordi, who is still in concussion protocol for the fourth time this season, probably. You don't really know how important Seth Jones is until he's not out there, which is one thing that we didn't really expect. I was very curious to see how this defense played without Seth Jones, because we've seen a few mistakes coming from Seth Jones. He hasn't played his greatest up to his top potential this season, so I was curious to see how this defense looked without him, and somehow they looked worse. You know, like Charlie said, you don't know how important Seth Jones is to this team until he's not out there. So, Nick, I'm not sure if you watched the game, but what do you think about this defense without the group they have? Obviously, we're going to go touch on what the defense had in a bit, but what do you think about it with these major injuries?
Well, I think Seth Jones, I think a lot of the hate to Seth Jones comes from how much he's getting paid and how bad the team is. Obviously, he's not getting like much help with his D partner or whatever there. Although Kevin Korchinski is out now for a family matter, so that's why, nobody else is there. But Seth Jones, if he was getting paid like $6.5 million, I don't think you'd hear half of the stuff about him. Now, I don't think he's that great watching him either. I don't think he's that great, but he is getting paid a lot of money, so I guess that's why. But with the Blackhawks injuries, yeah, sure. The team is going to be a little bit worse without their top defenseman, but the team is already bad anyway. We know like the standings just got updated as of yesterday with San Jose's win. Now the Blackhawks are the 32nd overall team and in line to get Macklin Celebrini in the draft lottery. Wouldn't that be something if Macklin Celebrini and Connor Bedard were on the same team? But yeah, like you said, with the injuries, like this team is going to be, it's already bad enough. But we're just going to see some more of that up and down things that we've seen so far this season.
Now, I really like the point you made about a lot of the hate to Seth Jones being due to his contract. Seth Jones is still one of the better defensemen in the NHL. Don't get us wrong. He is still a very good defenseman. It's just a lot of people don't think he's worth his value, which I agree. The value is, I don't think is there. It's a very expensive contract for someone who is not playing up to it at the moment, but I certainly think he could play to that potential, but we just haven't seen it this season. And like you said, the help has not been there whatsoever. Even with the injuries we had in this game and going into the next few games, I didn't expect this game to be much different, to be honest with you. I found the defense played all right for being a bunch of AHL guys. I'm going to pull up another one here, which is from Charlie as well. The same 10 observations. 4 of the 6 Chicago defensemen in this game were full-time AHL players last season. Louis Crevier, Isaac Phillips, Philip Roos, and Alex Vlasic. It was a tall task from them against the red-hot Oilers team, but they held their own pretty well against them, all things considered. Roos left midway through the first period, blocking a shot off his hand and returned to the second period. But, like I said, the guys played pretty well against Connor McDavid, who seems to be fully back healthy. And the goals coming from, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Zach Hyman. I don't really think it would have been different regardless if Korchinski, Seth Jones, Jared Tinordi, if they had all played. I really don't think this would have been a difference. So the defense is definitely going to be a problem over the next few games, but it's gonna work out at the end, like you said. It's going to be a top pick regardless from the Blackhawks, whether these guys are healthy or not. But we're going to talk about now, we're going to move on from the defense. There's still another major issue that we need to discuss in this video. And I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know what we're going to be doing. It's the fourth line. The fourth line in this game was quite honestly one of the worst times I've seen them play. And, this line hasn't been a thing for too long, But you're going to pull up here. I'll just pull up. This is another one from Charlie in the NBC Sports Chicago Blackhawks page. When the Chicago fourth line of Mackenzie Entwistle, Cole Guttman, and Lukas Reichel were on the ice together at even strength, the Oilers led 7-0 in scoring chances per natural stat trick. That trio didn't see a ton of ice time, obviously, because of this struggle in this game, and the minutes definitely were a factor because of their play. And I gotta say, at this point, we've tried everything for Lukas Reichel. You know, we've put him on the first line, we've put him on the second line, he's been winger next to Connor McDavid, he's been on the power play, got him on the fourth line now after being a healthy scratch. I think it's time to send him down to the AHL. You know, I really don't think we have a spot for him right now that's working out. I think down to the AHL is going to be a good, reevaluation, a retool for Lukas Reichel, get his confidence back, and maybe he'll find a way that he finds that he plays better in the AHL instead of in the NHL. You know, I don't know what else we can do, but Nick, what do you think about this? You know, there's only so many more things that Lukas Reichel can do on this team and not succeed at before he gets sent down to the AHL to find something else. So what do you think?
Well, he's gotten a lot longer of a leash than I would have gave him at this point, to be honest with you. I mean, last night was probably the breaking point for the staff or whatever. Like maybe, well, I thought it should have been, and I know we were talking about it. Like that should have been the breaking point last night. If he's not sent down today, I don't know what the issue is from sending him down. Like there's nothing that can hurt. He's been in the AHL. He's played well in the AHL before. So, I mean, maybe send him back down there to get his confidence back, like you said. But I think they're out of other options at this point. I agree.
Yeah, and I'm going to pull up the fourth line stats as well here. You can see him highlighted in Mackenzie Entwistle, Cole Guttman, and Lukas Reichel. Not much coming out of this trio. You can see the ice time was 10 minutes, very low. Nothing to come from it other than a minus. There's nothing to show. Giveaways, few hits, but nothing to prove that this line worked at all, which it obviously didn't for... I'm sure many of you guys have watched the game and know that there's not much more that they can do with Lukas Reichel other than send him down. You know, it hasn't worked all season. No area did he work. In his first game, I think, in the power play on the first line, he got a goal. But after that, you know, I thought that was going to be the tipping point where he's going to be back, he's going to be ready, he found the right position he wants to be in, but it just didn't end up being so. So, you know, there's going to have to be a move made soon. Like you said, Nick, if it don't happen soon, I don't know what's happening. He does have a much longer leash than I would have gave him as well, like you said. I'm not in any different boat than you. But, you know, the time's ticking on Lukas Reichel. You don't want to make him you don't want to make him lose his confidence, is the best way to put it, you know. You want to reassure that he's still able to do what he wants to do. Maybe if it takes a stint in the AHL, something has to happen. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this because this is very painful to watch, to be honest with you, having this fourth line stink, as well as the defense being very hurt, and it's just a big mix of players that you never know who you're going to be playing with. So we'll be keeping an eye on all this stuff, especially the fourth line and mainly Lukas Reichel over the next few days and see what happens. So make sure to subscribe if you want to stay updated with this whole scenario. And that's all we got. Nick, any final thoughts before you finish this one off here?
Send Lukas Reichel down. Save him.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, the time has come. It really has. But that's all we got. Hope you did enjoy this video. Make sure to give it a like if you did. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you want to keep up with all the Blackhawks news. But that's all I got. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. See you later.